our challenge is making a collagraph. Okay, so collagraphs are used in printmaking. My 6th graders might recognize this word. It's when you take a piece of paper, like cardboard, kind of like a cardboard cereal box, and you glue pieces or shapes to it using glue stick, just regular craft glue, or if you don't have either of those, some tape. So let's get started. I'm gonna take apart cereal. Okay, so here is my piece of cardboard for my collagraph. As you'll notice, my life decoration is on the back. Over here I have all of my offcuts that I can use to create my collagraph. But first I'm going to cut out some shapes. You can make a picture if you want, but I think just to make this a little less complicated, I'm just gonna cut out some basic geometric and organic shapes. So here's a triangle. Okay, so here I have cut out some geometric shapes, like my triangles, and a rectangle, and some ovals, and then I added some organic shapes that don't really look like anything over here. This kind of reminds me of some peas. And these two shapes over here, and I've overlapped them, and that's okay with collagraphs. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them down either with my felt glue or my paper craft glue or my glue stick or Elmer's glue that I don't have, or if I need to, you can always use regular tape. So you take a piece of tape, in case you don't know how to make tape double-sided if you don't have double-sided tape, and you fold one side and you fold the other side so that it lays on top of the first side you folded, and now you have kind of a homemade double-sided tape. So you can use that also. Okay, so now that your collagraph is put together and glued, nothing's falling off, that's good, okay. We could let it dry for a little bit, but since I used a glue stick, mine's pretty much already dry. If you used anything that's like liquid glue, I would let it dry on the table for a couple of hours and then come back to it. Now that our collagraphs are finished, what can we do with it? Well, aside from using it for tomorrow's project, so make sure you keep it for tomorrow's project, I thought it might be nice to do a rubbing of your shapes in your collagraph. And all you need for the rubbing is some crayons and paper. Now I like to usually make my artwork functional, that means give it a purpose, so I'm going to make a card. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold a piece of paper in half, like this, okay? This is a really big piece of paper. You probably won't have an 11 by 17, but you can use regular computer paper. And I'm going to unfold my paper, and I'm gonna lay it on top of my collagraph. And if you put your hands on top of the paper, you can feel the raised surface of the collagraph that you made by cutting out all of those shapes and gluing them down. So this rubbing is going to be made with a crayon. Now, a lot of you have already used crayons to make rubbings, probably when you were younger, but I'll show you and remind you how to do it. So you are gonna have to peel off the paper of the crayon. And of course this crayon might not be working or peeling very well. Some people say that if you soak them in warm water for a while, the paper just automatically comes off. But I'm impatient, so I'm just gonna use my nails. If you have trouble with this, make sure you ask an older person in your family to help you. So let's see what kind of rubbing we can get of our Collagraph. Here we go. So I'm going to use the side of my crayon like this, and I'm going to place it down on my paper, and I'm going to go back and forth like this. See? You can see the shapes that you made are starting to appear. And you have to hold the paper down so it doesn't move. Look at that. I've just made a rubbing of my shapes. That is how you make a Collagraph rubbing. Save this for tomorrow.